You guys ever done one of these? It's really weird. What's up, guys? So, I'm Bear. Welcome to the YouTube channel, the inauguration, the beginning of Bear.Of.Wands YouTube channel. I've had people, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Purple Ocean. I've had like bunches of people ask me if I was going to do a YouTube channel, if I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I always say yes, that I was going to, and then I didn't. So, now I did it. I'm doing it. We're here. It's pretty cool. Welcome to the Bear.Of.Wands YouTube channel, y'all. I figured what I like to watch when I watch a YouTube channel is I like to watch like people evolving, and people, you get to kind of watch the way that people think and how they grow and how it changes. So I think that's kind of what I'm going to focus on. I'm a tarot reader. I do I Ching. I do Tibetan astrology. I do all kinds of different stuff. But I'm not like an expert, and I'm not like the best psychic in the world. I connect with something and it tells me stuff, and I give it to people, right? That's one of the main things that I sell. And I don't see me as someone that should be giving out tarot advice or I Ching advice, or what I would really be doing is telling you the same stuff that other people told me, because it worked. People told me stuff, now I'm good at it. What I think I'm going to focus on is my thoughts, my opinions. You know, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm really not. But I've been at this spiritual trip for quite a while. Through that time, I've picked up a lot of stuff. You know, I'm still flawed. I'm still, I don't know, I'm not very good at life. Spirituality, I know some stuff about. And doing a YouTube channel, that's the only thing I can think that I could give to people, is my spiritual journey. What I have learned as a spiritual person. What I've learned as someone practicing and meditating and growing, and yeah. That's what I have. That's what I have to give. So I figure, I mean, that's what I'll give you. If people want a YouTube channel from me, the only thing I can think that I have to give is my thoughts. I'm going to start where I am now. I'm currently on the Bon path, Tibetan Bon. I am a Bon Po, a practicer of Tibetan Bon. And I had a friend, Blue Tiger Wellness, if you haven't seen his channel, he's an awesome dude. He's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the big ones. I think he might be on TikTok. Anyway, it's Blue Tiger Wellness. He's a really sweet guy. If you get the chance to check him out, please do, because I'm going to steal his ideas. So if you could like reciprocate it for him, I'd appreciate that. One of the videos that he recently did was why Bon, why he chose to get into Bon. And because that's my main spiritual path, I want to start in, you know, why I got into Bon, how I got into Bon, because it's just different. It's just not the same. It's another Tibetan spiritual, like every other thing, but it's not. Before Bon, I was in like the Neem Karoli Baba scene, you know, Ram, Hanuman, that was Ram Das, that was my big thing beforehand. I was actually doing kirtans, and when I got into the divination, I took a class from Lucky Links, and in that class you get a chance to speak with them. Said something about like, yeah, but don't you want power? And it was just, it was bizarre to me that such a spiritual person would be so focused on gaining power, right? And it just, it was different, because everything I had seen, what's it in the Bible, the last shall be first, and the meek will inherit the earth, and all this stuff, and that's echoed in Hinduism, and that's echoed in all these different things about how the less powerful end up being, you know, the chosen ones. So it was weird the way that he said that. But as time went on, I started learning about this, and I got hooked up with Padma Rinpoche and that whole crew, my Sangha. I learned power. You know, the meek may inherit the earth, but you're going to get your ass kicked while you're here. There are very, very powerful forces in this world, in the physical world, in the spiritual world, all around. And it doesn't do you any good to be like pitiful. It doesn't do you any good to be fragile. It doesn't do you any good. What does good, not only for you, but what does good for other people, if you have the power to do what is right. Because there's a bunch of people that aren't going to do what's right, and they have the power. They have the ability to do this stuff. And here we are, I mean, broken at the bottom. That's where I'm starting at and where I'm progressing from. But without money, without power, without magical ability, like, you've seen all the like conspiracy stuff about like Bohemian Grove and all these different like weird demonic Sumerian stuff that powerful people do. They're doing it. They're gaining power, which might be a real good reason why they're in the positions that we are. This generational growth of magical people that have been just sucking the life out of everybody else. So if you're truly on a spiritual path and you're truly trying to better yourself, why would you not be the perfect person to hold the power? There was another line. This one came from Padma Rinpoche. He's Bonku. He's our teacher. And it was something about, I'm going to murder all these lines, so everybody who's watching, I'm very sorry. He was talking about spending money on this stuff. And he was talking about, you know, people think that enlightenment is free, that everything spiritual should be free. But, you know, if you don't have money, you can't build a homeless shelter. If you don't have capital, you can't build a school, you can't build a hospital. If you're concerned about health and you think that the medical industrial complex or big pharma or whoever is causing all these problems, if you're making $7.25 an hour, guess what? You can't do anything about it. You can make small steps for yourself and for your kin, but you can't do the big changes. If you really had capital, if you had money, if you had wealth, if you had power, then you have the ability to make your own big pharma. You could do the things that these terrible people are doing, but do them in a way that benefits the human race. You could do things that other people... It's amazing the difference you could make if you had the money to do it. In Hinduism, like, you have like the sadhus and stuff, and the big thing that they do is they get rid of all of their possessions. Or the 12 disciples, they got rid of all of their possessions. And all these people that just got rid of everything to go and become spiritual. Well, if you're becoming spiritual, then you're the person I want to have the money. I don't want that gross person that like grew up in wealth and uses people and their only mission is to gain power. There was another line, this is going to be the quote episode. There was another line, I think it was like a Joe Rogan thing he had said, and it was about, if you want to be president, then you're not the person for the job. Or I've heard, if you're the kind of person that wants to be a cop, I don't want you to be a cop. I don't want the person who wants to go out and fight the bad guys. No, I want the kind person. I want the person who wants to help people. I want the person that is disgusted by a use of power, a bastardization of what that's supposed to be, a bastardization of serve and protect. I don't want a person that wants to fight the bad guys. I want someone who wants to help the good guys. Right? In Bon, this is the time of Penno. We're in the shadow of Penno, right? It's a prophecy that goes back like forever and a half about this time period. It's really interesting, really spot on. It actually says in the prophecy that this is a sidebar. It says in the prophecy, if anything does not happen exactly the way that this thing says it's going to happen, then it's all fake. There is no allegory to this. It's a really interesting prophecy. But anyway, in there, it talks about the men of ill intent, right? And the men of ill intent have gained control. just bad people. We have people who are just, nobody's bad. Nobody's all the way bad. Nobody is irredeemable. But there's a lot of people that really suck. There's a lot of people that do terrible, terrible things. And because of their karmas and their habits, it's the same thing, karma, habit. Because of their karmas, they've locked themselves into this thing. They've built up these habits that they just can't break free of. You know what I mean? Like, a crackhead isn't a bad person, but they've built a habit of smoking crack and therefore must do these things to attain that hit, right? So these probably generally good people have just caught themselves in this cycle of terrible stuff that they do. And it's just, why are those the people that, why would you want them to have the power? Why wouldn't you want the power? If you're watching this and you're a good person, you're the one that should have the power. And in Bon, that's accepted. It is okay to want that power. It is okay to want the power to help people. Maybe not just from your words. Maybe, yeah, it's cool if you can tell somebody something really good and it opens their third eye. But we've got terrible stuff going on. We've got this election coming on, which is just a royal buck of an election. And if you're someone who genuinely wants to do better, who genuinely is trying to do well for others, I want you to run for president. I want you to have the money and the power to be able to run for president. I don't think that's too much to ask. As spiritual people, we should make an effort to become powerful. And for me, the only place that I had found that accepted that concept, that it's okay to be powerful, it was Bon. And it really, yeah, it's a really interesting path. And that's where I'm at now. I'm gaining power. I'm gaining money. I'm like, every time I need money, it falls out of the sky. Every time I need, it seems like every time I need to take command of a situation. Not that I was a weak person before, not that I couldn't act in a serious situation before, but it's helped immensely. I think that's it. I think that's a good place to start. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you stick around for other videos. I hope.